Hello, and welcome to the Frequency of Love podcast. I'm Celeste, and this is Dave. And we decided to do a podcast where we sit down with other couples and talk about love. Because as we wrote our story, we found out that we are not alone in people that are also living their love story. And in a world that is quite sad and could need maybe some inspiration, hope, I thought what better way than to share it with all of you. So I am sitting down with Andrew and Christine, who I've known more closely over the most recent years, but I happen to even go to high school with Andrew. So it's just one of those things when connections stay. And I feel very blessed to have them in my life. And thank you so much for being here, you two.
That's our pleasure.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm excited to share this journey with you. This is great.
Okay. So awesome. Okay, first, how did you two meet?
You want to go?
I tell this story like in 100 words, and Andrew uses a lot more. That's typically how it goes.
Yeah.
We met at one of Andrew's shows. It was kind of coming out of COVID. It was in June of 2020. And my girlfriend asked if I wanted to go and watch some live music at a winery. And I said, yes, I do. And I didn't know who it was. And so I looked you up, and there was one song I knew. So we ended up sitting in the front row, and I took a bunch of video that night because I thought my kids, like my teenage kids, would absolutely love like a lot of his music. And so after the show, we started chatting, and that's how we met.
If it wasn't clear, I am a musician, and I was the one performing the concert. It wasn't that we just met at a concert with somebody else. I realized we put that out of context, because if anybody was listening, they'd be like, "Oh, you just went to a show and you met this guy at a show. That's cool."
Yeah, well, see, that's why I say 100 words and 1,000 words.
It's fair.
So you were the one on stage.
I was the one on stage. Yeah. So I've played a lot of concerts in my life. I've met a lot of people after shows, and it has never gone the way it went at this show. And after the show, and again, like Christine said, because it was over COVID, it was very rule heavy about how close you could be to the person that you were getting a picture beside. And they were like, you got to be 6 feet away from the person. And I was like, have you ever got a picture with somebody that you were like a fan of? Had to be 6 feet away. You're like, I got a picture with that person. Like, no, you didn't. You photobombed them. That's not even real. So she came up and was like, can I get a picture? And do I have to be 6 feet away? And we'd already kind of chatted in between my set. But I kind of talked to everybody during in between my set. So that was like the first time that we interacted, but it was really like I was really on stage mode and like, hey, thanks for coming to the show. I can't really come near you. Bye. And I'll go talk to somebody else. And so afterwards, when she came up and made the effort to be like, can I get a picture with you? And do I have to be 6 feet away? I was like, well, and I turned around because she was behind me and I saw her and I was like, no, you don't. And she came up right beside me, and her friend took a picture, and she put her arm around me, and I had my arm around her, and there was just this like insane electricity. Like it was like, but like a physical feeling of electricity. It wasn't like oh, I feel electric inside. It was like, oh, something is happening. What is this? I don't know what it is. And so the picture was taken. Her friends made some funny remark about how they're like, oh, we're going to settle up the wine bill or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, are you going to stick around for a minute? Because there were some other people that wanted to get a shirt or something and a picture 6 feet away, which I did. And I said, if you're going to stick around for a minute, I'd love to chat. And so she's like, okay. So then I turned around after I'd helped these other people out, and we had a really great chat and kind of were joking back and forth. And she was in real estate, and I was talking about I might need a house one day or to sell it or something. And she said, well, give me a shout. And so she gave me like a business card, and then you left with your friends, and I went to pack up all my stuff. And she had kind of said, if you come to Kelowna and you wanted to grab like a coffee or something, hit me up. And I was already in Kelowna because that's where the show was. And I was like, she didn't give me like a timeline. And so I was basically like, sent her a text like right away and was like, hey, like it was great to meet you. And just wondering like what kind of like, what's your next week look like? And then we just kind of went from there. It was really, and like, yeah, but there was no like Christine wasn't hitting on me like I'll joke that she was, but she wasn't at all. I mean, she legitimately was like, "Oh, your Disney medley would have gone over so well with my older
like teenage daughters."
Yeah, and I was like, so it's like not a real like
no,
not a real lead in on like, hey, what's your name? I have teenage. Okay, cool. So and we had another conversation, which I hope it's fine that I share. But I was like, I was always playing shows, and I was like, after the show, maybe we could get together. And Christine replied like, I don't really like driving at night because I get pretty sleepy. And I was like, how are we gonna make this work ever? And so finally on like
It was like a week later.
it was like yeah, but like a week later, we'd been chatting like the whole week, and I had told her kind of what I had like coming up for gigs. And on the Friday, I got this text, and she's like, "I feel really rested. I'd love
Like
to."
at a friend's barbecue, I was like, oh, okay, well, I can meet up tonight because I'm already out, so it's okay.
Yeah,
She
so
got her sleep. It looks like I've got a chance.
exactly. So I was like, amazing. So I've been playing a house concert, and I wasn't anticipating that I was going out like on a date later that night. And so I like had to like get some food from the lady who was hosting the house concert because I was like, I'm on a date and I'm pretty hungry and everything's closed because COVID. And so we literally like met up and went to like this abandoned little beach in the dark and sat and stared literally at each other this close. We couldn't see each other for like 3 hours. And we just talked and talked.
That's
And
a really neat experience, to be
yeah.
honest. Yeah.
Yeah, like to not see each other. Like we couldn't not see each other. And like you just all we had was hearing each other's voices and like starting to learn more about each other. So it was a really cool,
Yeah.
cool way.
To me, it sounds like, but it was the energy. Like it was the feeling, like again, all of a sudden you came into each other's fields, right? And then
Yeah.
you felt something. So, and again, even then, the first date that you didn't have to even see each other because it was like you could feel
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
loved it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I didn't know anything about at the time. I just knew that there was
Yeah.
just that feeling. I've never had that ever in my life. And I was like, what is that? Yeah.
Okay. So, how, when then you started continuing to hang out, or when, or was there a moment when you kind of looked at the other and was like, oh, this is it? She's the one or he's the one? And
I think I knew right away. I think it took you a little bit longer.
I remember, and I was just trying to think if this was in so we met in June 20th, 2020. And this was either in July or August, I think the end of July.
Yeah.
We were driving to one of his shows and we had a conversation, and his birth mom was on the phone and she was talking to us about like a really kind of personal thing going on in her life. And I was a part of it. And we just had a conversation about a song he wrote, and he wrote it for one reason, and it to me sounded like it was written for a totally different reason. And it was somewhere in that conversation that I felt such a part of your life and your future and our future, that I think that's where it kind of settled, that I was like, oh, this is it.
Ah,
Yeah.
I love that. Yeah.
I love that.
I remember having a conversation though, like I don't remember when, but Christine, like, because I was newly-ish divorced. And so I was like, Christine was so kind and generous and was like, you don't know what you don't know. So if something comes up, just be transparent and honest with me, whatever you're feeling. I'd rather be part of it than kind of on the outside of it. And you're trying to deal with something in your head on your own instead of talking to me about it. And I was like, wow, that's a really gracious way to like present. And so I remember chatting though, and she was saying like, don't put any pressure on this. Like, just know that like, that I feel that if for some reason this didn't work out, I would have loved the experience of getting to know you and being part of your life. And I was
Wow.
like, oh my goodness. But then she came back like 2 weeks later and was like, I would like to say that if this didn't work out now, I would be really disappointed because I'm really invested and I'm absolutely in love with you. And I'm like, okay, that's more where I was going with this. But I love the transparency of it.
But I was honest in both those things.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
I love that, Christine. I love, like, because then you knew what you were up with it. Like she was just so upfront.
Yeah. So upfront. Yeah. It was just complete and total transparency and honesty and like, and safety, especially for me to be able to like, because you're completely right. Like you don't know what you don't know. You go into something and you're like, I am 100% in, I'm guaranteed it. And then you kind of learn something and you go, huh, I need to process that. Give me a minute. And if you take that by yourself and the other person goes, well, wait a second, you said, and you didn't have that openness to be like, no, I get it. We all go through different things. We learn different things. So be open with me. And that way, then we can kind of like navigate it together. So anyway,
I love it.
that's my remembrance of when you were like, no, now I'm 100% in. Like now I'd actually be pretty disappointed if it didn't work.
So what is one quality that you loved at the very start that you still adore today in each other?
I have one that comes top of mind, and it will be true forever. So the night that I met Andrew, when I saw him on stage, he is the same person on stage as he is in our kitchen, as he is interacting with anyone you'll ever meet. You never have to wonder what you're going to get. It's always the same. And I value that so much.
I love that. So I'm incredibly charming and funny in the kitchen. I like
Yeah.
that.
All the time.
Yeah. I would say that one of the traits that did you say trait or
Quality, anything?
quality? Yeah, I think one of the qualities that you have that I loved at the beginning and I still love now is honestly that like the same thing we were just kind of talking about is that openness of being like, but it's not just like you're so safe, so safe. And I think like people tell you stuff that you never ask for. And sometimes you don't want to know it because then you're like, oh, why are you telling me these things that are pretty intimate? And like now I have to look at your partner when I meet them and it's awkward. But people just find you really safe. And I found you really safe. And I think that's one quality that I like. It's the first time I would say in my life that I feel really like I can just breathe and nobody's gonna like judge that breath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So what I heard there too was like she saw like you're not walking around with a mask. And we know in today's world how refreshing that is, right? For somebody to show up who they are, and especially when it's someone in a performance type of role, it would be hard to trust that. And so probably Christine, you were able to trust him because you're like, what I'm getting is what I'm getting and there's nobody else. And then in a way, she was able to reflect that back so that you felt safe to also be that person because it was the very person she adored.
Yeah.
Like,
I love that.
I love it so much. What keeps you guys both in love after this time together?
I think for me, it's just knowing that we can grow together and the conversations we have, they are just so reflective of who we are and what we're trying to create and the life we're living. And that makes me feel so excited all the time. And so I feel like the conversations that we have definitely keep me so engaged.
I would agree. Yeah, I think we've moved into a place of like it's fun because when we met, I feel like the only intentions we had were to get to know each other and to be like, let's open the wine and let's have the food and let's do all the fun things. And then as we kind of like moved through that honeymoon period, we then got like more like specifically intentional. Did we freeze on you by the way? Oh no, we're back. Okay. Yeah. And so then I feel like we got more specifically intentional about what we want now looking forward and being like, okay, this is what we want for our lives. So what does that look like as we kind of navigate there? And we have so many people in our lives. Like Christine has 3 adult children. 2 of them, they're all in relationships. The oldest one is married and has an 8-month-old baby. And so we're technically grandparents, which is crazy. And then we have
Thank you.
And then we have my 10-year-old. And so it's like we have all of those relationships to navigate, but what I always feel like is we're the team. We're always together. And we sort out, okay, what does this look like? How are we going to navigate this thing with this child or this one with this child? Or how do we bring them all together? How do we inspire just based on our own movement? And I think that's one thing that we always aim for. But also, I think one of the ways that we stay in love is just like we're both really playful. And like we both, I think it's, when you've gone through life a bunch and then you kind of come out, you're like, this is just really fun. Like, I just want to like,
let's just like a lighthearted attitude about
yeah. Like, it's like, like if one of us gets kind of grumpy, the other one will kind of not roast them, but kind of be like, oh, you feeling a little bit grumpy? And they're like, dang it. Yes, fine. So there's a lot of playfulness. And I think that keeps the mood up a lot of the time, which is lovely.
And I think you can be really playful when you feel safe.
Yeah.
Like, that like anything that's being said to you is with the utmost like love and respect and like kindness.
Yeah.
Well, it should be like, can't be serious all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's too much.
We are here to enjoy it.
Yes. People forget that.
And relationships are not always easy, right? It's a lot to navigate. So we might as well actually have some of the fun to balance it all out while we're doing it, especially life in general.
Yeah.
What is a positive quality in them that you wish they could see in themselves? That you see. Like you see it, but they don't always see it themselves.
Her butt. 100%. No, you know what's
What was
interesting?
you laughing?
Yeah, I'm like that's
That's awesome.
you don't really see it. I do. Anyway, when we first got together, I remember seeing Christine and seeing, it's funny because I saw a lot in you, not just just simple potential things where I was like, oh my gosh, you're like a paddleboarder and you're very beachy and whatever. And then I found out she has like this real, sorry about the thumbs up there. And then I didn't realize that she has like this innate sense of fear around water because she saw Jaws when she was way too young to watch it.
Way too young to
So
watch.
like,
Oh yeah.
she thinks Kalamalka Lake has like a shark in it. And
For sure.
I'm like, no, I see you as like kind of beachy and I see you as this. And sure enough, like you now do paddleboard and you do spend a lot of time like putting your feet at least in the water. But deeper than that, I always saw this like depth of wisdom that was not yet realized by so many other people in her life. And I was very much like, no, your words have value and like you and what you contribute has value. And people who get the opportunity to know you are so lucky. And I kept trying to encourage that, trying to encourage that, trying to encourage that. And I feel that your question is hard to answer because I feel like you've now realized it. And you've moved more into that space as somebody who's like, no, I am an authority and I do have wisdom from my life experience and I can share it. And what I share is valuable. And when people receive it, they are blessed to hear it. And that's where I feel you are now. And so so I don't know that I see, like, I still see the potential in you, but I feel like you've come up to us. I got to find something new now. Your butt. That's what.
Stop. Can you repeat what that question was?
It was like, what's a quality that you see in him that he might not see himself?
Oh, okay. The first thing that comes to mind is I have never met anybody who is a more incredible father. And I know that sometimes, obviously, you question things, decisions that you make. But because my kids are older and I've seen raising children, the impact that you have on London's life and the things you teach her and the respect and love that you show her and what you've brought to my kids, that they can look up to you in like a mentor and a father figure, that for me, I think is huge.
Oh, thanks.
That's a pretty incredible quality.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Take it.
Love that. What would be your guys' best tip for keeping love strong and connected over the years? What do you think?
It's gonna sound so weird
I'm ready.
considering what we have just said. But for me, I don't find that there is a place for sarcasm with each other in any space of a relationship. Like for me, if there's sarcasm at my expense, I immediately check out. And I know that you kind of do as well.
Yeah.
So we're very we have a lot of fun and we're very playful, but we're never like jokingly critical of each other.
No, like the joking of like if you were mad, it's because it's like it's very obvious that like you have had a day and you are kind of like just a little mad and you're moving dishes a little heavier than you need to. And so you know that if you it's not like, oh, who's a big girl? What's the problem? Like it's not like making fun of. It's more like, do you need a hug? Like, come on. Like
turn that frown upside down.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like that, like keeping certain things like that out of a relationship for us, for me, is really important.
Yeah. I don't know why I've never been athletic really, and so teams is like a weird concept for me, but I feel that you need to be a team. Like you really need, like the only time that I feel like we have any issues is when I don't feel connected as a team, where I feel like we're just not right on the same page and we've missed something and I don't know exactly what it is, but it's like we have to figure out what that is. And so if being a team means you prioritize coffees in the morning, or if it means you prioritize a walk with each other, or if it means that you pause whatever you're doing and just take, like 5 minutes to actually look at each other and really focus on what that means, then that keeps you as a team. And then I think that's how you can navigate and keep that kind of spark alive. That, and I have another one, which we were talking about earlier, which is very funny. This is a tip for anybody who has kids, who is in love, and perhaps they have moments during the day or during the evening where they get an intimate moment with each other, and maybe they want to listen to some sort of sexy music. But this is a tip that we have learned the hard way. And if our kids watch it, they will laugh pretty hard at this. But there's a way, and I don't know if you know this, but on Spotify, you can listen to whatever you want to, like, what's it called? Like hidden. We didn't know that. So we had put this playlist on that was like, oh, it's kind of a hot little playlist. But the album cover is like a big booty. And so now that shows up on like all of our Alexas, like in the house, as like, hey, let's go back to listening to this. And we go, we're like, oh, James, how do we get rid of this? So anyway, so on one side, that might keep your love life alive, but it also might be a little bit awkward with your kids. So I just encourage use the incognito mode on the Spotify.
I didn't know, now you do.
Yeah, no, I can relate a little bit because I read romance books, and some of them can be a little spicy.
Yeah.
And we're on a Kindle family plan. So any of the books that I read,
some of them are pretty good.
And some of them, like, I mean, sometimes it's just hockey players on the front. It's okay. Like, it's not too bad. But the occasional one, there is a guy with no shirt.
Yeah.
And so I did finally have my kids go, Mom,
what are you reading?
What was that? Forbidden. What was that? So yeah, I get it.
You're like, oops.
Pretty funny. You're like, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But depending on the age, it's also good intro to be able to bring up topics.
Yeah.
And
So it's where they're like, what if they read it? They're not gonna read it.
No.
They're not gonna get past the cover. Like, no way.
No, exactly. No.
they are your sons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll be repelled. That's not for me.
Pretty funny.
Okay. What advice would you give someone that's looking to call in their soulmate or their person?
For me personally, I think that the level of self-awareness that you are at, to get as like aware as you can possibly be about yourself, what you want, what you need, to open that possibility up for that to flow towards you.
I love that. Advice for somebody trying to call in there. Yeah, I would agree. I think that that's very like, yeah, I think that's the best way for you to be able to connect wholeheartedly is by being wholehearted and being like, I'm available. It's funny because I think I always had the perception that like love was chaotic. Love needed to be like this, like crazy all the time. And in meeting Christine, I realized that love is calm, and it's this, it's actually not like, yes, there are challenges used in a light way in relationship that you have to navigate, but the relationship itself, love shouldn't be hard. Like, it should not be that hard. It should be this wonderful like fluidity of like, yeah, we might have like little things that I say that you didn't like, or you said that I didn't like, or opinions on things, whatever. Those are like kind of superficial when you look at like the depth of what love should be. It should not, like, it should just move as like a fluid thing. And I think if you're experiencing something that isn't that, I'm not a fan of like cancel culture, but I am a fan of really being aware of it and going, you know what, like, this just isn't the one. This just isn't the time. And be okay with that.
Well, and we have the benefit of, it's both of our second marriages. So we have the benefit of being able to reflect back on previous relationships. And so when you come from a past of things being extremely chaotic and you come to a place of calm, it's like, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Like, it takes a minute.
Yeah. You're waiting for the shoe to drop almost, right?
Yeah. And so I feel like, to the extent that you can focus on to know yourself, because there's been many times where you've said something and it has been good or bad, but I've been triggered and I've had to say, just a minute, that upset me and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I just need a minute to figure it out.
Yeah.
Because it's not you, it's my experience of what's happening in myself, that I'm feeling something, but I'm not going to necessarily blame you, because like, it's my filtering of the information that just happened of how I'm going to react about it. So I think to know yourself enough to know what is yours to carry and what is not yours to carry is extremely important.
Yeah. Sometimes it is me, by the way. Sometimes it turns, she might come back. She's like, okay, thought about it. Yeah, that was you. I don't know why. I'm like, yeah, that's fair. That's
I don't know why I said that.
Sorry.
I think it goes back to what you said, Christine, about awareness, though.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fact, like, because so many people don't do that, right? Like it's just this reaction all the time. So the fact that you are that centered, that you're even in that moment, because we have that sometimes too. I'm like, something just happened in the last 5 minutes and now I feel different than I did. And I just need to sit with it to figure out what was it in the last 5 minutes that shifted me, because I don't like this feeling. And I know I felt different a little bit before. So I do the same thing now, and I just take a little breath to kind of go back through and then figure out what was the thought or what was the comment or what was the thing that just put me some, and the awareness in itself sometimes just makes it dissipate, right? It just goes away and it's fine.
Yeah.
One nice thing Celeste does for me is sometimes she'll just go, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "No, that pissed me off."
Yeah.
But she can see like my facial drop, whatever signs I give externally. Like I guess I shouldn't play poker or anything, but
No,
right?
well, like, so, like, you okay? And like, I'm like, oh no. And then, but at least I have the awareness to go like, no, yeah, it was that. Yeah, no, it's okay. And again, like to your point, like that was me. Had nothing to do with that's, you know, so it doesn't do anything. It was an old thing that I just reacted to.
Yeah, I agree with your self-awareness thing. That's really, and I think there's, sometimes there's just people feel just an urgency or a rush to it, or a like, no, this works, and you know, from an external side, not even looking at it from like an internal self-awareness side. It's also like, I don't know where somebody said it, where it's like, let people show you who they are. And like when you observe enough and you connect enough and you get to know somebody enough, you can really start to understand like if they're right for you or if they're not right for you, or if you're right for them or not. Like you can kind of see like, wow, I don't bring out the best in you and you don't bring out the best in me. So let's start, you know what I mean? So let's get a little like, let's be okay with it. Like we're just humans trying to navigate this whole big thing. And I agree that when you get really centered on who you are, then you can bring the right person into your world. Because I don't think I was self-aware when I met you. So I did.
It's been ahead of
you were. Yeah, I think you called me in, which is good because it's like little,
Well, it sounds like you guys are quite a divine couple, because I mean, it hasn't been a ton of years, and yet you're already reflecting how much growth has happened, and the fact that you're both stepping into even more of who you are, like that's happened fast, because we experience the same thing. Like sometimes when you just find that divine partnership and you're able to just kind of help each other up level to who you always meant to be. And you know, you guys have been obviously on that path, and I think it's just sometimes confirmation too that you're like, this is the right partner for this life for me. This is who I'm meant to be, because look who I've even turned into by having that partnership in my life. And that's so, it's so special. I think sometimes we all have to just take a deep breath, and even when we're on paths of growth and we are trying to get better at this, but remind each other, like, we're doing a good job. Like, you know, like
we don't sit back and be like, oh, we did that.
We did that. Where it's always the next, right? And the next. And I think we all have to take more breath and relax into the fact that we're even showing up every day for ourselves, for each other, willing to even show up in this game of life and try and figure it out as best we can. And
having fun while we're doing it. Like, you can't just, let's all grow. Let's grow as much as, like, well, let's also have some fun. Let's not grow today. Let's be silly. Let's, you know, let's just take a day off.
Let's not grow today. I agree. That's really good.
I'll grow tomorrow.
Yeah. And every time you do that, usually you're like, guess what just came? Like, and then all of a sudden you're like unpacking stuff out of nowhere. I'm like, oh, now it hits? I thought we were going to go wrong.
Everything's on place to calm, right?
Yeah.
But I mean, we push ourselves a lot, and it's not like pushing like I'm no athlete either. It's, you know, just, you can't push yourself every day. You'll be exhausted, and that's where the fun comes in. Like, take a break, enjoy your family, enjoy yourselves, enjoy each other. Yeah, that's part of it too.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree.
Well, I really appreciate you guys sitting down with us and sharing your love story, and you guys are just radiating, and I feel so good chatting with you guys. Like, this feels really good. I wish you guys were here with us.
Oh man, so do we.
That looks lovely.
We're off to a local town to do some kind of Halloween thing, so we're gonna go see how that is. Our kids are already with the other family, but yeah.
Why we can do this.
Yeah.
That's so fun. Well, we appreciate you guys taking the initiative to bring more love into the world. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've got so many ideas of so many of your songs as well. So who knows what the future holds. And for anyone that doesn't know Andrew, I will definitely be posting the link to his music because it is doing good for the earth and doing good for humanity and good for the soul. So I'm so glad that you guys have found each other and that you're making together, you're obviously impacting a lot of lives. And
thank you for thinking of us too, as like a couple that you would like, you know, that
100%. 100%.